Hello, my good people of the interwebs. This is the Tenkaichi of gaming and Otaku, Preheat 7, and I got two very idiotic yet questionable, so questionable articles that I basically had to close my eyes upon. The derp is great in here. So, why don't we start off with baseball? Because, yes, it is baseball season. And regardless if you are a fan of baseball or not, it's just the article that doesn't make sense. So here we go with the first article that was submitted to me by Byg. Big Fatty Plus, ladies and gentlemen. Big Fatty Plus. Yankees fan caught sleeping on TV sues ESPN MLB for $10 million. Yeah. Moving past this shit. Okay, a New York man who was caught sleeping at a recent Yankees game against the Red Sox on ESPN is filing a $10 million defamation suit against broadcasters Dan Schulman and John Kruk for their avalanche of disparaging words, according to the New York Post. That's your problem. Andrew Robert Rector admitted that he briefly slept while attending the April 13th game between American League East rivals, and when ESPN cameras caught him sleeping during the fourth inning, the Sunday night baseball announcers launched into what he described as an unending verbal crusade against him, with their vituperative utterances redistributed on the MLB website the following day. A YouTube video uploaded by MLB is titled "Fan Sleeps in Stands During Game versus Red Sox." According to the report, Rector's suit was riddled with typos and improper grammar, claiming the broadcasters insinuated that he is a fatty cow that needs two seats at a time and is a confused individual that neither understands nor knows anything about history or the meaning of rivalry between Red Sox and Yankees. On Tuesday, ESPN issued a statement regarding the game broadcast and Rector's claim. The comments attributed to ESPN and our announcers were clearly not said in our telecast. The claims presented here are wholly without merit. ESPN, MLB, and the Yankees are named as defendants in the suit. Oh dear, and the smoking gun? Oh dear. Here's the entire complaint Richter filed via the smoking gun, but I'm not going to look at that. I'm going to read this. 13 through 17. Nothing triggered all these assertions, only that the plaintiff briefly slept off while watching the great game, something or circumstance anyone can easily found himself. John Crook, in his verbal attack, insinuated that the plaintiff is an individual that know neither history nor understood the beauty or rivalry between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. Yankees, sir, Yankees. The unmitigated verbal onslaughts crossed the line between reporting on sport and abuse against the plaintiff without reasonable cause or restraint. not just from the literal meaning of all the words or statements, but from the unexpressed implication of the statement, as well as the pictures and captions like "Sleeping Yankee fan cares not for your rivalry talk." Plaintiffs assert that defendants are guilty of juxtaposition of a series of fact that imply defamatory connection between them. In doing so, they create a defamatory implication even though the particular fact are connected. Plaintiff alleges that MLB.com juxtapositions of photos and text of two men kissing each other and caption "Sleeping Yankees fan cares not for your rivalry talk" falsely implied that plaintiff engaged in that type of conduct described or portrayed by the picture in light of all surrounding circumstances. I have words for this, but I'm simply going to save them until the end of the video. Yes, I'm doing 2 of these things. 2. Yes, 2. Because the second article was submitted to me by Ryu. And it's talking about 13 random things you shouldn't microwave. Oh, this ought to be good.
He's asleep.
I've got the gelato. Is that ice cream? No, it's
At any given time, in this point, I would like to say, what the hell? Okay, moving on. "13 random things you shouldn't..." Okay, we got aluminum foil. We already know about this. Stainless steel travel mugs. Really? Chinese takeout boxes. Styrofoam containers. Okay, this is the reason why we don't use styrofoam in our house. Plastic storage containers. This is why we take it out. Raisins! They will smoke. Grapes. They can catch on fire. Plastic bags are unsanitary, can cause fire, emit toxic fumes. Brown grocery bags, just as dangerous as plastic bags. Eggs in the shell. Heat builds pressure, causes it to explode. No, really? Dried hot peppers sting your eyes and burn your throat. Yeah, from the chemical. Sauce without a cover. Cause a huge mess. Nothing. Like a water molecule to observe, the microwave will damage it. Now go heat things up safely. These are for people who don't know how to use a microwave properly, I'm telling you. The microwave is a pretty miraculous device, perfect for leftovers. The appliance is a staple in many a kitchen. However, some containers, and surprisingly some foods, do not belong in a microwave. It is pretty common knowledge that aluminum foil should not be put in the microwave because it's flammable. But many other materials are equally as flammable. Did you know that stainless steel travel mugs shouldn't be microwaved either? It's not only harmful to the appliance, but as it turns out, the steel prevents the heat from warming up the liquid, so it won't actually heat up your drink. There are also a few less obvious items you shouldn't put in a microwave. Did you know that styrofoam is a type of plastic? That means it's not microwave safe. Bags are also definitely a big microwave no-no. Not only can plastic bags cause a fire, but they can emit toxic fumes too, as the video has shown. Paper grocery bags are any better. They're flammable too. Yeah, because they're paper. Dumbasses. If you think it's just containers you need to avoid putting in a microwave, think again. Certain fruits can catch on fire in appliance too. Raisins will begin smoking if microwaved, so it makes sense that grapes can't go in a microwave either for the same reason. Eggs in a shell could also explode in the microwave due to the rapid pressure of the heat. However, what may be the strangest thing to not microwave is nothing. Turn the microwave on without putting anything in it will damage the device. Without any water molecules to absorb microwaves, the appliance itself can really get damaged. Okay. As a microwave wizard, I use the microwave wisely. Therefore, if there's anything, meaning I have leftovers or something like that, what I usually do is like, take for instance, I get some Chinese food. I don't. What I do is I put the styrofoam plate into the microwave, but I don't heat it. I just keep it there to leave it be warm. If I need to take it out, I will dump it out onto a plate, and then I will, of course, what I'm doing is, dump it, do this, make sure it's nice, and you know, goodness, one moment. As I was saying before, because of how I do things, I usually do this. I take out I take out the Chinese food. If need be, if it's still hot, I just eat it as is. But if not, I just take it out of the styrofoam plate or the tray. I dump it onto my plate, my paper plate. I give it about a minute, because our microwave, we suddenly changed ours. It's like this: you press one for 1 minute, two for 2 minutes. It goes from 1 to 6, in which you press one button, bam. All you have to do is just sit back, watch. Everything else, like, if you want to push for popcorn or soup or anything like that, you can do that. But honestly, you know, you have to use the microwave wisely. That's all there is to it. You have to know what you're doing with the microwave. And sadly, the thing is, my mom doesn't know what to do with the microwave. It's like this: she would overheat on water for no apparent reason, like just for a cup of water. You don't put that much power on just a cup of water. It's like for about a minute, but nothing more than 2 minutes. A minute is enough. A minute is enough just to heat up the water if you're going to do it in a microwave. Otherwise, use a kettle. A kettle is much more safer because all you need to do is just like fill the water up and just like keep, let it just sit and let it heat up, and then after it's done, it stops. We have an electric kettle, so it does the same thing. It boils water, and once you boil the water, once it's done, I mean, you can fill it up to about 2 cups to about 6 cups. But the point is, once it's done, all you have to do is just pour, and that's it. Pour, and that's it. What else can I say? No, really and truly, no, really and truly, all you need to do is use common sense. You know what not to put in the microwave unless you're a dumbass. And unless you are a primordial dumbass who doesn't even realize how to use the microwave. then therefore you should not be around a microwave. I mean, I've learned how to cook. That's how I've actually learned how to cook. I learned how to cook through a microwave, and I've ascended to the stove. The stove and the oven. So therefore, it's like, it's really easy. That's all I'm doing is just doing one little thing. So for something quick, I go to the microwave. But if it's something that requires time, I go for the oven. Trust me, the way I cook steaks, I just take my time with it. Give it water. Just while I'm on the subject, let me do this. How to cook a steak or a pot roast? Real easy, real simple. If you have something like a nice wide pot, the first thing you need to do is, yes, I'm telling you how to make a pot roast while I'm talking about using your microwave properly. Okay, now what you need to do is, if you're going to make the proper pot roast, first off, water. Pour the water in the pot or in the roaster. The second thing you do is you season the water as well as the meat. You put the seasoning in there just because you want to make a very good gravy. Then you put the meat in, whether it's a steak or it's a roast. You put it in, and basically you season it really good. It doesn't matter how well you're gonna season it, but season it really good. Also, if you want to, you can cut a few vegetables on the side, like a few onions, a few carrots, a few potatoes. Slice them and just put them around the meat very properly. And if you want to do it if you want to do it like in chip format, you can do that too. Doesn't matter. However works for you, that's what you go with. I'd also say preheat the oven for about 370. Preheat the oven for 370. Then what you do is you put the roast in the oven and you just let it sit. Remember, the higher you do it, the better it's gonna come out, because, like I said, it's around 370. The proper range will be 350 to around 380. I'm gonna say 380 because if you do it too high, you're gonna burn it. But around 350 to 380. Last time I made a steak or a roast, it was around 370, just to make the sauce really really saucy. Because if you're gonna pull it high, that's how I make the sauce really 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 good. Just make it 370 or 380. Let it sit there for about an hour until the preheating's done. Once the preheating's done, then you just let it cook. You just let it cook for about an hour or so. Because how I did was, like, I just cooked it for. I just cooked it right after preheating was done. I just let it cook for about an hour or so. Because I did a test. I actually left the house, went to, say, McDonald's, stayed there for about a while, had lunch, stayed there, have a drink, use the bathroom, leave, and come back to the house. Took me about a solid 30 minutes to get back to my house. Because I'm going there, it's going to take a while, so I'm staying there, getting a drink, and I'm waiting. I come back. Now, mind you, the time this happened was about 3:30. 3:30. I leave the house. 3:30 p.m. leave the house, get something to eat. I come back around 5:30. 5:30, I still leave it on. And I keep it on for about maybe 15 more minutes. Then I turn it off. And I just let it simmer. I either turn it off or turn it down. I usually just turn it down, just to let it simmer. Or turn it off, just to let it simmer. It works both ways. But if you can do it right, within 2 hours, you don't have to do nothing but just make sides. If you still feel like choosing, if you still feel like making sides, or if you don't have sides, you can get some sides. Like cook some rice and maybe some string beans or something like that. You could do that too. But either way, make some bread or something just to go with the meal. Hey, you got yourself a meal fit for quite possibly 3 people. And that's how you do that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to just throw that out there just because when you're talking about the kitchen, and many people ask me how do I should remember to put this down on the video whenever I'm cooking something. Well, I'm not cooking anything, but I'm going straight from memory. But I will share that in the description box as well. But anyway, that's a little freebie for you guys, for those who want to cook something. There you have it. That's how I cook. That's how you cook a decent pot roast or a steak. Now as for this here, I want to say this. When you do something like this, when you pick on somebody who is basically just sitting there, you have to imagine what this guy has went through just to get a seat. He probably had to go for probably 3, 4 to maybe 5 hours. 5 hours to get in, let alone get to a seat. When he gets to a seat, the dude is tired from not only driving, but you're in a freaking line for like 4 hours just to get one ticket. And when you get that one ticket, that's about it. You are glad you are in that seat. If you just basically fall asleep, that is okay. I would too if the match wasn't really going so far. If it's like 0-0 for like 4 innings, hell, I'll fall asleep too. But the thing here is, I don't blame this guy for suing those networks just because, oh, you're doing character assassination. Basically, that's what it is. It's character assassination. I say, you don't know this person just because he falls asleep on a ball game. Whether it's like the third inning or the fifth inning, it doesn't matter which inning it is. It's like if nothing is really going on, and it's just sleepy, it ain't gonna bode well. I can tell you that right now. It's not gonna bode well. But the thing is, yeah, the following networks got egg on their faces because this guy here was that damn tired. I mean, when you call somebody a fatty, you're hurting their feelings. Because first off, you don't know what this person has gone through. And I speak freely on this. But there are some people out there. There's some people out there who can't help how they are. And the problem in this world is that they have to be this way. You have to be this way in order to be accepted. Well, you know what? I don't want your acceptance. Because if I was being judged because I have to look perfect, every part of my body has to be in perfect harmony with myself. I said my fingers have to move, my toes have to move on both ends, left and right, and I had to do all that, and it's just to exist. I'm sorry, but if something happens in which I could have had no arm at all, but I had to take some kind of risk in order to get my arm the way it is. Fine, I will take that risk. This guy took a risk just because, oh, his own character as a person is under the attack just because he went to sleep on one game. And like I said, how I figure he might have been tired because of probably the distance he drove. On top of that, he probably has a job, which is pretty much taxing. On top of that, he's in line to get one freaking ticket. And trust me, I know about that. I go to AX every year, and there are tons, hundreds, thousands, millions of people. I'm going to say thousands. I don't know about millions, but I know thousands of people come down to Los Angeles. They come down for 4 days. Well, actually 5 days. 5 days for 5 days if you pre-register, but 4 days. They come down here throughout the entire duration of the convention. They stand in line for 5 whole hours, maybe longer. And I'm included into this line because I went through it quite a number of times. I went through it this year and in the years before that. To get to see Keiji Inafune, there was a line. And because of what happened, we had to stay in line in order to wait, and basically I picked a spot just to get in. Aside from that, like I said, this person right here had probably every right to sue their collective asses for being just that, asses. And I honestly applaud this man because, it's like, let the man sleep. You don't know what he's been through. It's like being at church. You go to church, you hear a sermon being told far too long, or basically you try to tolerate as much as you can, and what happens? You fall asleep. It's not because it's a lack of sleep. It's because you're trying to keep yourself interested, but it's hard to. You can't really get interested. You can't get fired up. You can't get anything. You can't really do that because you're sitting there. You're trying to focus. You're trying to concentrate. But there's a part of you that's saying, God, why don't I just leave this place right now? That's why some people just leave during the benediction. There's some people that leave during the benediction or before the benediction. It happens. I've seen it before. I'm one of those people who do that. But this guy right here had every right to basically sue Living Pants off those networks. That'll probably teach him a lesson to leave those who don't deserve that kind of treatment alone. It's like you're going to tease somebody just because they do one little thing. It's like the guy next to him. The guy next to him is probably messing with something. And so all these other people that you see, as you can tell, they're probably not interested in the game too. But, that goes without saying. But I think I have said quite enough about these two articles that I'm about to upload right now to YouTube. So, if you have any thoughts about these two articles that I have just now said, please feel free to share what you have to say. I don't mind listening to what you got to say about this article because I want to hear what you think. No, really, I want to hear what you think. I want to know what's on your mind. So please drop a comment or two. And also remember to like, share, comment, and also subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Facebook. You can Twitter me on Pookie87 or you can follow me on Facebook also as Pookie87. So with that, I have been the Tenkaichi of gaming and otaku, and this has to be one of the most interesting articles I have read so far. You done good, guys. You done good. That's all I'm gonna say. So, stay tuned later for more videos. More likely, if you don't see any game videos, you probably will see some review videos later. I'm pretty positive of that. So until then, take care, God bless, and of course, Tenkai Muso, have a great and wonderful weekend, as much as I will. I will see you next time for more videos. Tenkai Muso.